Some of you may be aware of the genre of web video known as the monthly favorites, where a young, usually woman, presents you with her favorite crap for that month, whether it's a new mascara, or pumpkin spice latte candle, or lip balm. I asked you on Twitter if you thought me doing a video like this would be interesting or horrifying, and most of you said that it would be a grotesque hybrid of the two, but that was a place of discomfort that you were interested in exploring. So, without further ado, these are my October favorites. Every 2 years or so, the internet remembers that there are over 200 well-preserved dead bodies on Mount Everest unable to be retrieved. So that means that every 2 years or so, I also remember that those bodies are up there. More than 4,000 people have summited Everest at this point, and though apparently it's quite cushy by extreme climbing standards, still seems awful to me. You know full well, going up there, that you could potentially die. Climbers die from avalanches, they die from falling, they get deadly altitude sickness and frostbite. And at such a radically high altitude, you have to leave the bodies up there. You can barely carry yourself down, forget a whole other dead human. Like seafarers, it's supposed to be an honorable thing to leave the body where it's fallen, but unlike the vast sea, the bodies are frozen and not going anywhere, so new climbers have to pick and climb their way over the corpses. The corpses end up becoming landmarks for other climbers. The most famous Everest corpse is a guy they call Green Boots, who allegedly was an Indian climber who died in a blizzard at the summit, and climbers just have to step over him, like, "Excuse me, sir." Recently, Green Boots disappeared, and apparently the Chinese have been removing or burying bodies, reasons and motivations unknown. So there's a lot of interesting things going on, and we'll probably have to revisit with hours of our time 2 more years down the road. My second favorite this month is the Mueller Museum in Philadelphia. Antique specimens of syphilitic faces and distended colons and skeletons plagued by rare disease. Now, if you live in Europe, you might be like, "Oh yes, anatomical pathological museums. Yes, we have many of those here. They're like Starbuckses." But if you live in the US, the Mueller Museum is it, so we're lucky that it's so awesome. It was founded on the teaching collection of Dr. Thomas Mueller, born Thomas Mutter. That's right, the umlaut over the U in his name is a vanity umlaut he picked up while studying medicine in Europe. Everyone should get an umlaut if they want one. You get an umlaut. You get an umlaut. Everyone gets an umlaut! The Mueller Museum hosted our most recent death salon this month, and they were so gracious and so welcoming. One of my heroes when I was first starting out as an advocate, when there wasn't really much in the way of death heroes, especially female death heroes, was the former director of the Mueller Museum, Gretchen Warden. I never met her. She died when she was only 56 in 2004, but I've seen her appearances on David Letterman, and she was so wry and so witty about death. She had you look death and disease straight in the face and realize that these people were not monsters, they were humans with a real relationship to the world and a lived experience. So it was so gratifying to host an event at this place that she had a huge part in making so amazing. It's getting real. We had an Artisans Bazaar at Death Salon, and even though I didn't get to do anywhere near as much shopping as I would have liked, here are some things that I managed to smuggle back with me to LA. Wax moulages were filled with pus and boils and used to train students on diseases like leprosy and tuberculosis. Though today they really seem more like art than something of real clinical value. Artist Nicole Antebbe recreates them. I chose primary syphilis. Excellent choice, Caitlin. Why, thank you. When I chose this one, Nicole tried to say, "Caitlin, I need to give you a discount. This is one of the first ones I made, and the wax is different, and it kind of weeps a little bit, and you have to pat it off." And I was like, "Nicole, isn't a primary syphilis wax moulage that weeps Catholic miracle style something you would pay more for?" Yes. Artist Jim Duran from Baltimore makes tiny tiny morbid paper dioramas. I already own one of those, so I got these spoons that he made, one with a dead centipede in it, and one with this tiny Cthulhu skull. Rise! Rise! What else? I got these dish towels from Obscura. Cool story, Caitlin. Quality content. Tell us more about your dish towels. That's it! If you like it, let me know. If you don't, we can burn it with fire and pretend it never happened. I also did a video on Atlas Obscura on necro pants, the Icelandic magical pants made of flayed human skin. Another October favorite. Necro pants are my favorite every month, though. They're like a staple in the wardrobe, you know? Also, let me know your favorite things this month so I can mooch off them and become you. Bye! Brought to you with support from People's Memorial Association and the Co-op Funeral Home, and donations from viewers like you.